that is put together, something that is manifest differently in different dimensions. And what are the dimensions? Kshara and Akshara. Kshara means perishable. In all the things that are perishable that have come out of this Brahman, Akshara means what? Imperishable. But here Brahman already is imperishable. So where is the second imperishable coming from? So therefore we have to look for another meaning, because Brahman is already imperishable. So we have to interpret this verse in the light of the context. And what is the context? Akshara is the cause. Maya. That Akshara here means unmanifest. Kshara means manifest. So the cause is unmanifest. Do you see Maya anywhere? No. So cause is unmanifest and the effect is what? Manifest. Once it is manifest, it means it is on the downward slide. Yeah. Because once something comes into being, it starts to tick, tick, tick. It comes with an invisible clock, including the body. The body starts to age. Mind starts to age. Most of the time you have to say never mind to the mind. Mind starts to age. Senses start to age. And even anything that you see, all the objects you see are eminently, Kshara, perishable. So the manifest and the perishable here in this verse are called synonyms, are used synonymously. That which is manifest is indeed perishable, and all that is perishable is manifest. Because we cannot say the unmanifest is perishable. How do you know? First of all, you cannot see Maya, but you cannot say Maya is perishable, correct? So actually the thing is, the Maya in relation to the perishable is called the unmanifest, right? So then Sanyuktam etat. So this Brahman is a indivisible whole consisting of, or manifest as what? Cause and effect, perishable and imperishable. And the next one says Vyakta Avyaktam. So Vyaktam yat tat ksharam, Avyaktam yat tat aksharam. Means that which is manifest is kshara, perishable. That which is unmanifest is imperishable. And so the unmanifest here is the Shakti, the power that makes Brahman Ishwara. Because Brahman is what? Is just a conscious, sentient being. We saw last time. Conscious, sentient being, which is the same as the presence of I. I know I am, and that isness of everything, that belongs to this I alone, and that I is non-separate from Brahman, that I is Brahman. And that Brahman pervades the entire universe. So how did the universe come? We have to understand this. Because that is a very important question. If Brahman is just sitting there, doesn't act, it's not a karta, doesn't experience, doesn't have a body because it is all pervasive, doesn't have a form because all forms are its form. So then where did all these forms come from? No, they are mithya. They may be mithya. But then we have to see where all these, not one, not two, but 3 parts. Where did these 3 parts come from? Oh, they came out of one another. Where did these 3 parts come from? We have to say it's all that is here is clay. Correct? So in relation to the parts, we say clay is Satyam. The parts are what? Mithya. But Mithya doesn't mean they are non-existent. They are existent, but their existence is dependent upon clay. So just like everything else, the existence is dependent upon Brahman, and everything, like the pot is made completely of clay, everything is, is nothing but Brahman. So it's a dependent reality, and that which manufactures, so to speak, this dependent reality is called the Maya aspect of Brahman. So Maya is what? It's not some sudden parallel reality that has come. It's not opposed to Brahman. It's not a parallel reality to Brahman. It is also mithya. Yes. We have to understand. A mithya power. A mithya power which makes Brahman Ishvara. Which makes Brahman all-knowing. Which makes Brahman, gives Brahman the status of being a creator of the universe. This mithya power. So then this mithya power is the one that causes the Jagat to come to being, because that knowledge in the form of Brahman, when it splits into knower known, and when the whole Jagat comes into being, it is that mithya power which in itself is invisible, which upholds the whole universe. Akshara means it is not perishable, because what happens even when the whole world goes into a place of what? Into a place of slumber called pralaya. When the whole world resolves, like even your dream, what is left? Brahman. Yeah. So Maya also in a sense is there, but it is a potential power. It's a Shakti which is potential. It doesn't go away in a certain sense, because when the next yuga comes, when the next cycle of creation comes, Maya is again active. So Maya has deactivated itself. It has gone into a certain causal state. So it is a latent power, therefore avyakta, unmanifest. So it is not really kshara, it doesn't have to be, because it resolves into Brahman. So it is not separate from Brahman. So this sanyuktam etat, so this whole Brahman is what? It is non-dually one, and it is manifest as kshara and akshara, cause and effect. And the cause is vyakta, the cause is avyakta, unmanifest, and the effect is what? Vyakta, manifest. From vyaj to manifest. So it is manifest. And so the manifest effect and the unmanifest cause are all Brahman. Effect non-separate from Brahman. Cause is also non-separate from Brahman. And the effect resolves into the cause, like even the dream resolving into the dreamer. Correct? So then all there is Brahman. But here we are talking not of Brahman. Brahman we are talking of in the form of Ishvara. This is the only difference. And really speaking, they are used interchangeably. So Brahman as Ishvara means as the cause of the universe. So when we talk of Mahavakya, or the equation between the Jiva, and the whole, the equation is not between Jiva and Brahman. That is not where the sorrow and the fear resolve. The equation is between what? Jiva and Ishvara. By falsifying this whole Ishvaratvam, that which makes Ishvara Ishvara. I told you that grand gown sewn by the seamstress Maya. And by falsifying that very thing that makes Jiva a Jiva. What makes Jiva a Jiva? So ignorance. Because of ignorance there is desire, sorrow, fear, etc. So the ignorance can it be resolved or not? Definitely. That's why we are here studying this. Otherwise, what's the point of studying this? Ignorance is resolvable. And so the avarna, one of the aspects of the Mayik power is called avarna, that covering which stops me from understanding myself as the whole, which eclipses my understanding of that oneness, is removed. Through what? Self-knowledge. So, therefore what? Let us look at the verse closely. Sanyuktam etat ksharam aksharam cha vyaktam avyaktam cha. So then, this composite universe comprising the cause, the effect, the manifest and the unmanifest, bharate, finally the verb comes. Bharate means what? Bibharti, the one that protects, Vishwam, the whole universe. Ishaha is called Ishvara. The one that protects this whole manifestation. The one that protects this manifestation comprising the cause, comprising the effect, comprising that which is manifest, comprising that which is unmanifest. This whole Vishwa, Vividha Pratyaya Gamyam Vishwam, means that which is understood through many, many cognitions. Pot cognition, fruit cognition, computer cognition. It's all what? One thing alone. It's all Brahman. And this Brahman I understand through so many various cognitions. Pratyaya means cognition. Vividha, manifold. Gamyam, that which is available for manifold, many varieties of cognitions. Pot thought, cat thought, had thought, mad thought. All this is, it's all, this is what is called the universe. This is called Vishwa. So, here in this case, Vishwa is not we are not talking of the individual waker, the technical term. We are talking of that universe which is available for manifold ways of cognizing it, depending upon the object that I am looking at. So this is Vishwam Bharate. So this Vishwam is protected, is upheld, is sustained. Bhra, to sustain, Bharate, sustained. By who? Isha, Ishaha. Ishaha Bharate Vishwam. And this Vishwam is what? This Vishwam is that which is available for manifold cognitions, and then it is this Vishwam is qualified by the other words. Look at that. This has now become a Sanskrit lesson. So that everything that ends in are in the same case. So Vishwam, Vyakta Vyaktam, Ksharam Aksharam, Sanyuktam. So etat what? Ishaha. Etat Ishaha Sanyuktam Ksharam Aksharam Vyakta Vyaktam Vishwam Bharate. Very beautiful. You see? So all the are in second case, they are the object. So the Vishwam is qualified. Vishwam means that which is available to us and understood through many cognitions, is qualified by that which is manifest and unmanifest, that which is perishable and imperishable, that which is in the form of cause and effect. This is all, this whole universe is what? Sustained by Bhagavan, Ishvara. Sustained by Ishvara. Oh, okay, that's interesting. What about me? When is it going to be my turn? This is the Jiva's lot, correct? Yeah. Only listens to see if, I'm included or not. What about me? Don't worry, you're coming in the next line. Let us look at the next line. Anishaha, So here we are talking about Isha. Who is Isha? The one that was just described as the glorious power that upholds this entire universe, comprising of cause, effect, manifest and unmanifest things. Correct? And the power therein to sustain everything. And so who is this I? Atma. Anisha. So if Isha means all powerful, all knowledge, all might, and you negate that with an, what does that Anisha mean?
No.
Anisha. Wah, crying individual. Yeah. The complainer. The one-stringed instrument holder. There is a one-string bhajan instrument. Easy to carry. It has only one string, so one toe. I'm not Isha, I'm not Isha, I'm not Isha. This is Anisha. And so, Anisha Atma. Oh, see, this I knew. I knew this. I knew I was not Ishvara. Even Upanishad is saying you are Anisha. Well, just calm down, settle down. Because we have only read one word from the third line. We haven't read the entire third line. Badhyate. Badhyate means what? From bandh, to tie up. Bandh, to bind. Badhyate, passive voice, is bound. So this self, thinking it is Anisha. Who is bound? Isha is bound, thinking it is Anisha. Badhyate. Kasmat badhyate. For why indeed is it bound? What is the answer? Read. Bhoktru bhavat badhyate. Bhoktru means what? Bhokta, bhokta, agent noun. Bhokta, bhoktaro, bhoktarah. Bhoktaram, bhoktaro, bhoktrun. So, bhokta means what? Same like karta. On the other end of the stick of the karta is bhokta. The other side, flip side of the coin of doer. First you do, you cook, right? And then what do? You eat. So when you cook, you are karta. When you eat, you are bhokta. So here also, badhyate is bound, bhoktra bhavat. Bhava here doesn't mean existence. It means through considering itself as the bhokta, badhyate. So the whole cause of bondage is what? Eating too much. Right? Yeah, identifying with the conspicuous consumer. Means what? It's a victim status. Yeah. It's necessarily, bhokta means a victim. I am, all these things are happening to me. I'm always in the second case, Yeah. Mom. Mom is not M-O-M, mom, okay? Yeah, mom is second case of aham. So why is this happening to me? See, I is in the second case, object. I is never the subject for a samsari. The one who is afflicted by samsara, I is always the object. What about me? What's happening to me? Second case. Why? Me. Who is this, So somebody is trying to get me. Somebody is attacking me. Somebody is taking away my rights. Bhokta means it's a pitfall. It's a pitfall where even like really strong people, elephantine people, can just slip and fall. To trap elephants, they have a very sad but effective method in India. They create a false, or even other small animals which they want to trap, like these hyenas, raccoons, etc. They have a false forest floor they construct. They make a pit and on top of that they put sticks and stones and twigs and lots of forest, eating things which are tempting the elephants to come. And the elephants come and slip because it's a false floor and the elephant has its own weight. Makes it a culpable to fall inside, and then there is a little net, and then they take it. This is the same way they trap the birds also. They spread the net. On top of that, they spread the false forest floor, and they put all these things, especially parrots, because they can sell them. And in India, parrots are a big thing, and so they put all these parrots like red chili peppers. Yeah, they love it. Indian Polly doesn't want cracker. Indian Polly wants something crackling, like a chili pepper. So they put all these chili peppers and all these other things that it likes to eat. And then, and then they all come. They say, this is too good to be true. This is too good to be true. And then as they are eating, they are, and then there is a lever for the rope. It's a very, flim-flam, rudimentary construction. It's not some kind of electric remote control thing. You just have to pull the rope and then they start to fly, but then the net from underneath, along with all that false forest floor, traps them. This is what aneshataya muhyati, deluded as because of the taking the victim to be real, victim status. This parrot story reminds me of the joke, and the same story, and then this one was, they all were, one man told the parrot when he saw this false floor, tell all the other parrots, don't come near, the hunter is coming, don't go near there, the hunter is coming. And so they all said to each other, because they can all talk, so they all said, don't eat this, the hunter is coming, don't go near this food, the hunter is coming. And they were trapped while saying don't go near, because they went near, even though they were, and even as they were eating. So here the jiva also makes a similar, what's its name? Similar thing. And also if you talk loudly, hunter is coming, hunter is not going to come at that time, And so the jiva makes a resolve, no more of this victimhood. I'm going to cut this cord of dependency. I'm going to study Vedanta. I'm going to do this. I'm going to get out of this why me situation. And then immediately a question assails the budding Vedantin. What is the question? Why only I have to study? Why me? How come everybody else is not coming to the class? Why only me? Don't worry, there are many people online, okay? Yeah. So, so then, so therefore, you can't say, why, this whole, then what happens? That why me is the cage that binds, that victimhood. So the identification with oneself as the victim makes one a tiny little person, where each and every problem is like like sometimes you give these extraterrestrials to seeds and you grow these plants, like they grow like that, and there is this small, it's like in some science fiction, sci-fi movie, the person is this small and then all the foliage is this big. That is what happens to the why me. Like, forget sci-fi, Gulliver's Travels. In one, he was in the land of that Lilliputians. That was okay. Then the next story, what happens? He goes where? To the land of the giants. Yeah. He's not even enough for a snack for one of them. He's so small. Yeah. They can't even have him. He's smaller than a chip. Potato chip. Yeah. So then he goes there and then he thinks he's in a jungle. But actually it is the giant's lawn. Because the grass is towering and he encounters one grasshopper which is larger than life. And this is all in perspective. It's all a perspective. It's a beautiful allegory for this whole jiva-hood. Sometimes I feel like I'm in Lilliput, which is nice because everything is tiny. I'm having a good hair day, which means what? Nothing is bothering me. Accidentally, not through knowledge. Accidentally somehow I have contacted a certain a samatvam, a normalcy. And then what happens? I'm okay. And then what happens? And then the next day I find the problems like being in the land of giants, insurmountable. Yeah. So this is what happens to the one who is identifying as bhokta, the victim, the experiencer. And bhokta also brings in another ta, karta. Yeah. So you cannot just be an experiencer, correct? So the victim cannot be always a victim. The other side of the victim is what? The one who did something. A doer. The other flip side of the victim, how did the victim feel victimized? Because somebody did something. Then how come you feel victimized? Somebody is doing something. Well, because the seeds of the victimhood are already there. And what are the seeds of the victimhood? I did everything right and still this is happening to me. Second case. Yeah. Yeah, this is what it is. So I did and now I am the experiencer. And then what? And then all the regret comes. You see, this is all samsara. Why didn't I do this properly? Why didn't I do it correctly the first time? The victim is crying. That means what? The victim was an ex-doer, correct? And the ex-doer is the doer is an ex-victim. Yeah. Because the victim says, why didn't I do it correctly? What was wrong with me? Don't I know this? And if the so-called victim is married, then the spouse will helpfully tell you, didn't I tell you? How many times have I told you? You keep doing the same thing. You know, the significant other is useful. Why? Because, points out the victim and points out the doer also. And then, so the significant other is very good, because when you have a significant other, Vedanta goes in even more. Yeah, definitely, because there is growth happening. And so now every victim is a doer, because the victim is the one who is the regretter. What do you regret generally? You regret either your own doing or other people's doings. That's what is regretted. Your own doing, when you regret, it is called guilt, correct? And other people's, when you doing, omissions and commissions, when you regret, it is called hurt. Well, there is the guilty, hurty. That's all. Guilty, hurty, same person. Sometimes predominantly guilty marries predominantly hurty. Match made in heaven. Guilty keeps on apologizing, and for hurty it's never enough. Yeah, so they'll never tire of each other. So this is all samsara is, guilt and hurt, guilt and hurt. And so the one that is hurt is bhokta, the one that is guilty is karta. Really. And even Upanishad talks about this. Kimaham sadhuna karavam, kimaham papam karavam iti. Why didn't I do the right thing? Why did I do the wrong thing? Thus, exact translation with notations. So, this is what it is. So, this whole thing, this is the pin, how they preserve these, they catch these butterflies and then they preserve them, they put a pin, So, this is the pin that holds one captive to samsara. Yeah, that is why I cannot spread the wings. That is not why I cannot fly away. 2 pins. What is this pin? Karta pin, bhokta pin. Yeah. These are the pins that pin me down to this concept of samsara, where I take everything that is not real to not only be real, but overpowering me. It's all about me. So, Anisha. Anisha means what? Not Isha. Shochati. Shochati means cries. Here it doesn't say, but elsewhere it says. Mundakopanishad says, Anishaya shochati muhyamanaha. Cries. And then here it says, Anishascha, Anishahacha, Atma badhyate bhoktrbhavat. So this badhyate has to be understood properly. Is as though bound. Bound by the ropes of doership and regrettership, really. Yeah. Bound by the ropes of agency and victimization. Because each person alternates, dilly-dallies between being an agent and a victim. Simultaneously, one is an agent and a victim. And so the victim, in order to come out of the victimhood, says, I need to do something different. Because I can't handle feeling this way, see? So the doer, victim, doer, victim. There's this whole alternation, and it's like the wheel of the hamster. Keeps going one in circles. And so therefore what? Anishaya badhyate bhoktrbhavat. Okay, then how to get out of this? Jnatva devam. Jnatva means knowing. Devam. Devam means that self-shining I as Ishvara. Jnatva devam muchyate, is cut loose. From what? Pashaihi. Pasha means, what is pasha? Huh? Pashu is animal.
Pashu.
Yeah. Pasha. Huh? Pasha is ropes. Oh. Pasha is the ropes with which you tie something. So all the ropes, the shackles are called not just necessarily rope, shackles. Shackles are called pasha. So the pashas fall away. The shackles of samsara in the form of the ball and chain of doership and experiencership, or agent and victim, that alternating cycles of agent and victim, that rubric, like time space is a kind of a constricting entity, and this agent victim is again a two-dimensional constriction. And so as long as one is kept alive, one keeps that thing alive, the two-dimensional constrictions, and the whole life, just like the whole life is bound, so to speak, by the time and space matrix, and everybody buys into it. What is relative, we take it as absolute, and here too, the relative agent and the relative victim are taken to be oneself. And therefore what? Therefore those become the shackles, like one is incarcerated, in one's own notions of helplessness and victimization. And so therefore what? You have to jnatva. Jnatva means you have to know. So in this, what should I say? From this incarceration of what? Guilty prison, hurt prison. Yeah, guiltentiary, hurtentiary. You have to, come out of this. And then go where? Zenitentiary. No, that was a joke. So you come out of that. In order to come out of that, it's because the shackles are not real. The shackles are notional. It's a notional bondage. Notional means what? It rises and falls. It is a dependent reality that rises and falls with my own wrong thinking. So if wrong thinking is the problem of samsara, what is the solution? What is the antidote? Catch the nose, right? Catch the toes. That is if you can reach it. And what else? Huh?
I'm thinking the right.
Yeah. So the wrong understanding has to be replaced with the correct understanding. That I am free of being the doer. I am not the doer. Because if I was the doer, then I should be doing something in sleep also. I should be chopping vegetables, going to office, driving in sleep also. I am not doing that. And if I am regretting, if I am the regretter and the consumer and the done-in all the time, then also that also is not there. In sleep there is no victimhood. That is why everyone wants to sleep. So because it is such a relief from samsara. Here we are not talking of a temporary relief. We are talking of not loathing oneself in the waking state. That is the whole thing. This is the cause of self-loath, is I don't think I am enough. I don't think I am okay. I think I need to do something more. I need to be better. I need to do things differently. This is the doer side of it. And then the victim side of it says, I am not okay because nobody says I am okay. This is depending on other people's, views. And so therefore what? Therefore one has to be very, very clear about the cause of samsara. And not only the cause, how to relieve oneself from samsara. So then where is samsara? Yeah, in the space between the temples. Yeah, and the shackles are also there. I am bound, I am not free, I don't like myself. This is the dejected person. Then along with the dejected person, there is a projecting person. Nobody likes me. Projection. I don't like them either. So this is this is an endless thing. And think of one life itself of this is intolerable. Just even think of life after life of doing this, Yeah. Life after life of holding grudges. And life after life of resentment. Life after life of feeling bound. Life after life of panic attacks. Life after life of self-loathe. Life after life of fear and sorrow. And all that goes away when? As soon as I know Jnatva Devam as oneself. Understanding Ishvara as oneself. So from Anisha, I have to progress to what? Knowing I am Isha. And then the shackles of doership and victimization and all regrets, fears and sorrows drop off, because the shackles are made of notions. And as long as I buy into the notions, I'm feeding the notions with all kinds of potions, and they are strengthening. They are strengthening because, see, already one thinks I am a victim, right? And then you feed it the potion. What is the potion? The potion is just you get some group of people who think likewise together. Support group. And then each one says, yeah, I too am a victim. Namaha. I'm also a victim. Om Namaha. That's all you can say. I'm also feeling like a victim. Yeah, the whole world is against us. Conclusion. It's a conclusion born of confusion. And so therefore these potions, we keep nurturing these kinds of things. So samsara propitiates itself. So the seed of samsara is avidya, ajnanam. Whose ajnanam? The neighbors, correct? Yeah. Neighbor, if they study Vedanta, I'm okay. Right? No. Whose ajnanam? My own ajnanam is the seed of samsara for whom? Me. And so that seed of samsara, then, when you plant a seed, it has two small sprouts, correct? The seed splits and comes from the ground. And then that is karta, bhokta. Then you water it, with a few tears of regret. Yeah. Then you feed it some miracle grow of doership. Then some more tears of regret. And then before you know it, it has taken over the whole yard, like bamboo. Bamboo, if you don't intend to grow it, it grows really. That's why you have to put it in deep pots, even if you are putting it under the ground, because it propagates like anything. So samsara also, the starter is already there. One comes with a starter seed of avidya, and instead of dealing with this avidya, you let the avidya sprout into karta bhokta, before that kama, before that karma. Yeah, karma means karta has already come. And then punarjanma again. So this is papa punya, punarjanma, the whole thing. These are the leaves, the fruits and the flowers. And we saw this in Viveka Chudamani also. Very beautiful verse is there. Bhokta atra jiva khagaha. There is a very nice imagery of a tree, right? The tree of samsara. And karma tu vapuhu. Karma means the actions is the trunk of the tree. That is the trunk of samsara tree. Ragaha, pallavam, raga, dvesha are the leaves. Yeah. Karma tu vapuhu. And then what? Asavaha, shakhika, the twigs. And the branches are the 5 pranas, are the branches. And then what? The karma, the actions are the water, that which waters the tree of samsara to nurture these portions. Pushtam, pushti karoti. The word pushti means push, to nurture. That's where the word portion comes from. It has taken guna, pu becomes po. So it has become portion. Poshanam is portion. Really, you should look at the thing. Poshanam is a word. Poshanam means that which nurtures. So this portion comes from then on. That which is like a tonic. So the water is like the poshanam, a potion for the tonic of the tree. And then what? Then Ragav Pallavam Ambu Karmatu Vapuhu Skando Savashakika Agrani cha Indriya Grama Rasika Pushpani Dukkham Phalam. Yeah. What are the fruits? Sorrow. Dukkham is the name of the fruit. Yeah. Not amram. What is amram? Mango. Yeah, not amram. Dukkham. Yeah, dukkham. You harvest dukkham. That's what. Sadly, you go with a scythe or you wait for it to drop on your head. Doesn't matter. Not the scythe. The dukkham. The fruits. Pushpani, the flowers are what? The flowers are the indriyas, sense organs, sense objects, and the fruits are sorrow. Nana karma bahuvidham. So the fruits are called dukkham because there are so many kinds of karmas, avoidance karmas. I don't want to be sad, so I'm going to do this, and then I end up sadder than before. And then victim karmas, doer karmas, don't do karmas, all these karmas, nana vidhani, karmani. And then what? Bhokta atra jiva khagaha. So the sad bird sitting on top of the tree, helplessly eating the dukkha fruits is who? Me. The victim. Victimy fellow is the one, is the jiva. What kind of jiva? Ignorant or non-ignorant? Yeah, ignorant. And this ignorant jiva alone is the one which is a casualty, really. This is the casualty for jnanam. This is a big casualty. So the person has to come out of this jnanam alone, and even this Mundaka Upanishad says this in the same way, that there are two birds sitting on the same branch. Dva suparnaha sayujaha sakhayaha. Suparnau sayujau sakhayau, dual case. And these two birds are the greatest of friends. Suparna means they have shining wings. Parishajvate samane vrikshe parishashvajate. They are embracing. They are the greatest of friends. They are giving each other a beautiful hug with their shining wings on the same branch. Oh, so they do everything together? Not quite. In one activity, one bird doesn't participate. One bird hops up and down like a mad bird. Doing what? Nibbling on the egam. Pippalam swadu atti. Tasting the little pippala. Pippala means what? Fruits. Small fruits. Some are tasty, some are pungent, some are rotten, some are just plain bitter. Some are, once in a while it is sweet. One bird is hopping up and down, identifying itself as the doer, as the one who is plucking the seed, and as the one who is seeding the trees, because the birds participate in pollination. So they are doers. And then after participating in the pollination, what is it doing? Experiencing its doership. And searching for the sweet fruits and failing miserably, finding only the bitter ones. And its best friend, what does it do? Anashnan abhichakashi iti, just shines on without eating anything. It accommodates the karta and the bhokta without being either karta or bhokta. So then that hopping bird is the jiva bird. And who is the other bird? Ishwara bird. Where? Right here. Are there really two? Chaya tapo, another Upanishad says. We'll come to that very soon in Kathopanishad. It's shadow and light. One is shadow, one is light. So if you come, on a sunny day, if you go to somebody's house for tea and you say, I have brought one more person. Who? The shadow. Will the host make 2 cups of tea? The shadow just is there for the ride, comes along. So the jiva is the shadow of ignorance. Yeah. If ignorance were to cast the shadow, it would be in the form of this confused bundle of karta bhokta. This is what is the shadow of ignorance. It's not really there. So the jiva hood is not really there. And that separation is what is causes sorrow. Delusion causes sorrow. It says, the next line it says, Samane vrikshe purusho nimagnaha anishaya shochati muhyamanaha. Nimagnaha means completely drowned in the notion of doership. This is another Upanishad, same idea. To show all of them have eka vakyata, there is no contradiction. They all say the same thing. Don't think this is just saying one thing is saying separately. So samane vrikshe, in the same tree means the head here, in the same psyche, these two birds are what? These two birds are just one Purusha alone. What kind of a Purusha? Glub, glub, glub. What is glub, glub, glub? The sound that comes when one is drowning. In what? In the notions that have had so many portions. That's what. Drowning in the notion of what? Separation. Anishaya shochati. Grieves because I am not Ishvara. Grieves in the form of not being Ishvara, meaning what? The separation causes the anxiety. That's why it's called separation anxiety. Very beautiful. So therefore, what is, lot there is to talk about, but time is not there. So we have to wait till next week. We'll see how to understand that one is Ishvara. We will see that next week. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Any questions? Yeah.
And so Vairagya seems to be the work that helps create stability.
Yes.
Instead of reactivity.
Yes.
And if I was really reactive this week. I heard myself snarling and snapping and going, that's really interesting. What is that about? Which is good.
That means you were witnessing.
Yeah, witnessing.
Yeah.
But still, what's the work? The meditation?
Meditation and listening to constantly listening to the teachings. Yeah. That really helps. Constantly being with the knowledge. You can take a text, look at the archives, keep listening. It really helps. And you are fortunate enough to be able to do that.
Yeah.
You had a question also?
Yes. Could you explain the concept of free will in relation to doership?
Yeah. Free will only when there is doership, otherwise is not called doership. If one is programmed to do something, it's not doership. Only when there is free will, there is doership, because the free will makes one violate dharma. Go the wrong path. Because if there is no free will, there is no doership. Animal doesn't have doership. Animal is programmed to do certain things, more or less. So, doership is there only when there is free will. And only when there is doership, there is feeling of victimhood. That is also interesting. Because the cat never thinks I am a victim, it's very rudimentary. It doesn't have the guilt. Cat, I've never met a dog feeling guilty all the time, or a cat feeling guilty, much less cats. So, therefore, they make you feel guilty. So, therefore, that shows that there is a certain connection between the doership and the other one, the experiencership, and the victimization, and the doership is there only when there is free will. Okay. Nothing online. Okay.